Facebook. We are live on Facebook.
What up, Facebook?
Facebook. And I will share it after we are live. See, here's the thing. Can I share it so there's not comments in two different sections? Can we say... See, here's the thing. Can I share it so there's not comments in two different sections?
That's me.
Share, can we say, to a page I manage, share in an event. I don't have an event. I can share it to you. I don't see that event. What's it called? Yep.
Season 4 premiere, I think.
There it is. We are live.
We are family.
I don't need the sisters with me. All right. We're ready in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Wait, what are we doing?
Are we not going live?
I thought we already went live.
Audacity.
Oh, Audacity. Sorry. Okay, yeah. Ready to go.
5, 4, 3, 2.
For those of us that love it all, there's only one show that gives you computer talk, celebrity news, collectibles, and food. What? You didn't think I was going to miss a chance for another fat joke, did you? This is Beyond the Routine.
Dun, 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 dun.
We are part of Beyond the Routine.
Just part.
Just part.
We're missing a part.
We're missing some folk.
Mr. Sometimes Dave is in sunny, not-so-warm Florida. So suck it, Dave, because it's not so warm.
Yes, it is not. Well, what is it like? What's not so warm in Florida? Like 75 degrees?
I don't know. There was one morning it looked chilly. I got to be honest. People in blankets and shit.
It was damn right brisk.
So, yeah, no. The cyclone bomb, even if they're bomb cyclone, whatever the hell that term is, it affects Florida as well, folks.
Yeah, did it even affect who it said it was going to affect? I feel like it was another one of the media, like, oh my God, it's the end of the world.
Never mind, just kidding.
I'm convinced that, like, Kraft and Nestle and the big conglomerations that feed us are like, oh, we really need to sell a bunch of fruit snacks in this area of the country. Bomb cyclone, CNN, bomb cyclone.
So we got watching. Hey, what up, Mom? How you doing?
We got some red on the Audacity too.
Double D, it'll be okay. There's little bits like that's fine. Double D has joined us. Hey, Double D, how you doing?
Yes, thank you to all that are tuning in now and
in the future
and forthright.
All right, so what do we always start off with this segment, I believe.
Yes.
They just couldn't give you enough in one segment, so they're gonna go off on their own. It's time for Week in Review, where they discuss the big news from the week, even personal experiences. Hopefully, more news from the week.
I'll start.
You go ahead.
I don't have much. I finished The Ranch, and I started that 70s show.
Ooh, you're going back to that 70s show, huh?
Yeah, the ranch gave me some nostalgia for that 70s show, specifically for Red.
Who good old Red.
He's in the last season of The Ranch, so
yes.
I had to watch it for Red. So far, I'm like halfway through season 1. But other than that, I didn't do anything fun. I do want to give a quick shout-out to Mrs. Intern fan who is recovering from some surgery yesterday.
All right.
And we wish her the best. I will be seeing you on Sunday.
Good deal. Yes, get well soon. Feel lots better soon, hopefully.
Hopefully by Sunday when you actually have to see my broke ass. But
Stoles is broke ass. All right.
That's right. What did you do this week, Jones?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot from personal experiences per se, but we did see our co-host Dave and the former host Jesse
intern manager
off to the Florida because
to complete a bucket list item.
Yeah, so here's the thing. You know, everybody's like, "Wow, they're running a marathon. That's just amazing." And it is. But it's not like they wanted to.
No, they had to in order to go to Paris or something, right?
So they were just going to do a half marathon because that's all that was required to get the medal that they wanted to get. They needed to do a half marathon.
And both of these folks on several occasions have told me how they're not going to run a marathon.
Yeah, they had no intention. But
like 2 weeks up until the fact that they decided to run the marathon, Dave told me he would never run a full marathon.
Never do a full marathon. But then they realized, oh crap, we waited too long. All of the other races are sold out at Disney World. The only one available is the full marathon. So in order to complete the task of
26 miles, no big
of
deal.
Castle to Chateau medal, that they will be running a marathon. I think they're doing all three in Paris, I believe. So 5K, 10K, and half in Paris. They needed to do one this year to get the Castle to Chateau medal, which means you've ran it both in the United States and in Paris.
How much do you think those medals go for on eBay?
I have no idea.
I feel like...
You're just going to buy them all?
Oh, dude, you think that would piss him off? I just bought all the... I feel like there's probably someone in Salt Lake that has ran all these races too.
Yeah.
I feel like if I put it out there, I could get someone just to loan me them. Like I would pay someone like $100. Like, here's $100 and my credit card in case they go missing.
Nice.
Just loan them to me, and then I'll just show up at work, just like, "What's up, guys? Guess who didn't spend $15,000 to get these medals?" Yes.
Kimo has joined us. What's up, Kimo?
Kemosabe.
So yeah, that's and like I said, I gotta say, I
What would it take?
for what, to run a marathon?
Yeah.
No, God no.
What about walking a marathon?
So this is the thing that I found out, because I've always wondered this, that these type of marathons, they shut down streets, they shut down public streets for these marathons, and part of the park is shut down while they're running these marathons. So I'm like,
and this one I believe went through all 4 parks.
yeah. So you can't just let people walk the marathon. This is 26 miles, and you're talking average walking pace is like a little over 20-minute mile is the average walking pace. So you're talking about 480 minutes.
On the route, like you're
Yeah.
just walking.
Yeah, to walk.
Because not to take away from the feet, but both these guys, they don't run the whole thing, right?
So here's the thing.
I guess we got to ask them when they get back.
I know for a fact Jesse did not.
Correct. Jesse does
He does the stops and takes the pictures and does that, and I think Dave does too. But the thing of it is, it's kind of cheating in my opinion. And Jesse can have an argument for it, and I'll gladly take it when he gets back. But on his Runtastic, he pauses the activity while he's doing this, so he doesn't count it against him.
Who's he cheating though? He's just cheating himself.
Well, it's just you can't boast that you ran a marathon in 5:56 or whatever that he did, because he was stopped for some of that resting. You're not like running a solid marathon doing that, right? So it's
What do you do when you have to go to the bathroom?
There's porta stops along the way, porta potties along the way.
Like the dude from Kenya stops and goes P2 in the porta thing, or no?
Why not? You got something against Kenyans?
No, I mean just these guys from Kenya, like they.
Oh, are you saying they just go in the bush? They wouldn't use the porta potty? Is that what you're saying? I'm trying to get where you're getting with this.
This is like I'm at the top of a slippery slope, my friend. No, well, so they I guess what's the logistics of all of a sudden you just have to poop? Like does that all the pasta that I ate last night? Oh gosh.
Well, like I said, there's porta potties along the way. You just stop and go in the porta potty. But I'm just saying, you should count that against you.
Yeah,
right.
It counts against you on the official score. I'm assuming they didn't take his Runtastic thing.
Correct. No, they don't take your run. They take what you finished in. But he's not posting that. He's posting, and Dave did it as well. And I don't know if Dave stopped because he didn't leave picture evidence that he stopped. Jesse left many picture evidences of his stops along the route, along with his video that he was taking during the way. But essentially, we got a few more joins. And what up, Jessica? What up, Megan? Hey, nice to see you.
Jessica used the hashtag BtR. That made me feel famous. Just a little bit.
We're pretty famous.
Yeah, we have a hashtag.
We have a hashtag now.
Said that he was going to dress up nice. So
for our show.
Yes. So
can we see him?
I don't think so, but we'll ask the intern managers or the intern host wife is going to stick on for a little bit. You tell us if he's dressed up nice, because he said he was going to go home and dress up nice.
Yeah, Megan, we need to know. You tell us.
That's right.
Is he dressed up nice?
And my brother-in-law's on. What's up, Daniel?
What up? I didn't see Daniel join. Did Daniel join?
I see him. I don't know.
All right. Lots of things going on. So anyways, I found out that they have these balloon girls in the marathon.
You know where I leaped to.
You got very excited.
So like if
they are.
let me guess what it is.
Go ahead.
So if you run at least a half marathon, the balloon girl gives you a blowjob.
That's not correct at all.
No?
Not even the same.
It is a Disney
This is
marathon,
a
I
Disney
guess.
park. So the balloon girls are staged strategically throughout the race to keep pace, basically. So once the balloon girls come out at a certain part in the race, that's the end of the line. You can't be behind the balloon girl or you're out.
So it's kind of like pub. It's a little like pub, right? So what happens if like there's got to be someone that's just so crushed, like
I'm
almost
sure.
to the balloon girl, and like.
So the whole thing of this is my cousin has does a lot of marathons herself, but she wasn't able to go to this one with her friends that she usually runs with. So she's got both of her friends that she runs with in this marathon, the same one that Dave and Jesse are running, the full. And she's freaking out because they're only 4 minutes ahead of the balloon girls, and all of a sudden she looks and checks again, and she's like, "Oh no, she's only a minute ahead of the balloon girls." And are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? They're going to be able to stay ahead. And it was kind of a freaky thing because, quite literally, if the balloon girls pass you, you're just out essentially.
You think that there's got to be first of all, the balloon girl. I'm assuming that they have these kind of people at all the marathons, but there's got to be fights that happen, right?
I don't know. I think I think they give them some leeway. I mean, they're not moving fast. It's not like they get on and run. Mm-hmm. They get on at certain parts of the race and just walk. And if you're not able to keep pace with them at least until the next set of balloon girls are reached and they come out, and you have to fall behind, then you're out.
Why is it always a girl? Why? What? This is sexist. Why?
That's a good question.
I am going to break the gender
Maybe
barrier.
there are balloon boys. I don't know.
Why can't we just be balloon people, man? It's 2018.
BTW rocks.
BTW does rock.
Do they?
That's that cousin's husband.
Yeah, I know. And so I'm just okay.
The W and the R are right by each other.
Good night, Megan.
Well, first of all, what is Demilia Migente? What's good, BtR Logan fan base headquarters? So he's apparently wearing a suit and tie like the Golden Globes.
Ooh, what up? What up?
That's pretty awesome.
So, anyways, yeah, that's the whole marathon scene. But then, I was a little jealous because they're taking all these cool pictures, some video of them walking around.
I've been jealous of these guys' vacation for
awesome park and everything. Granted, it was a really long plane ride to get there, and just the thought of that makes me kind of queasy in my stomach area.
It's no Funko headquarters.
Right, it's no Funko headquarters. But then he posted a picture today that changed my mind completely.
Oh, what did he post?
They're standing in line at Pandora at Universal Studios Orlando.
Which is
the Avatar world.
Yes, which Disney will own soon. So who knows how long that ride's going to be there.
And so they post this picture of just thousands of people in this line to get into the park. And then when they get into the park, they go to this super popular ride.
And there's no fast passes.
There's no fast passes at Universal. No, they don't have any kind of that program at all. And he's like, "Oh, we got lucky. We're only in 180 minutes. This is typically 260."
180 minutes just for those. I'm gonna math. Hold on, let me calculate. That's 3 hours.
Yes, 3 hours.
And
it's
30
typically
minutes. No.
260 minutes, which is 4 hours and 20 minutes.
That's insane. That's the Cars ride.
That's
the Cars ride. At Disney is super popular like that. I can't imagine.
But all the days I was in Disneyland, not one ride broke 180.
That's because don't they purposely break the line when it's that they
probably.
I feel like they're just we're gonna break the ride just to disperse these people.
Get them out of here. So yeah, that's my thought on that. Is good on you boys. Very proud of you for actually finishing the marathon. That's
awesome.
Yeah, it's a huge achievement.
We bow down to you.
Yes.
That is. I would never in a million years. Didn't the first guy that ran the first marathon die?
I'm pretty sure he's dead now.
I've heard. Well, obviously, he ran from somewhere to Marathon. I think the city was called Marathon. And that 26 miles delivered something, and then dropped dead when he was done delivering it.
I think the story is he actually did it twice in one day.
Oh, so don't run 2 marathons.
Don't run 2 marathons in one day. Never do
52 miles and you're in trouble.
All right, let's move into our first section.
Technology. Gadgets. movies, and TV. These are just a few things that give Chris and Jones an excuse to avoid carbs and punish their temporary interns. But hey, they do get a cut of Chris's ownership of the show.
I still do this crap for free.
Beyond the Routine with Chris and Jones. Oh, and Dave, I guess.
You owe me several $100s if you're going to say you're doing it for free there, buddy. That cousin said hello.
What up, that cousin? So as many people know that are in with the tech world, CES going on. Launched January 9th in Vegas.
It's always in Vegas.
Always in Vegas. And
CES, for those that don't know, is the Consumer
Electronics
Show.
Yes. So we got some Tom's Hardware kind of broke down the first day a little bit. I'm just going to kind of go over what I thought was interesting. Stolz, I think, has his own. One of the big things to me is the new Linda project from Razer. I'm really liking this.
Listen, Linda.
So Linda is a laptop and a phone together.
Okay, so we've seen this before, right? Asus has come out with something like this, the P-Pad.
Well, no, this is not turning your phone into a laptop. This is a laptop on its own. It's a full-blown laptop with processor and everything built into it.
Okay.
That has a dock for your phone that then utilizes your phone as either a touchpad or a second screen.
Any phone.
Any phone.
So Razer's not making phones.
They are. They're getting into the phone market, and it will. I think they haven't officially. Yeah, they haven't officially announced that it's going to be available for other phones. They're debuting it with their phone.
It's a dumb clamshell laptop. That's kind of cool. So it's almost like, does the laptop work by itself? No, it doesn't, right?
Yeah, it's all its own.
Huh.
So the laptop has. No, it's not. Son of a, what the hell? Okay, there was conflicting news stories. I apologize. So this one is that. You're absolutely correct. This one is just the dumb laptop. The first news story I read was a speculation of what it was going to be. So I apologize. I was not prepared.
So the touchpad, so I guess
the laptop itself, you're right, has no GPU, CPU, or
so
RAM.
it goes here. This is where the phone goes into.
And then it powers the laptop. Oh, Steven wants to talk. Go ahead, Steven.
So Asus has tried to do something like this before.
So did Motorola.
And Windows.
Apple actually has filed a patent for something identical as well, or very similar to it as well. And personally, I just don't think it's an idea that's going to work. Although,
what would work is you create a really kick-ass laptop and give it the ability to have a second screen and touchpad from your phone for gamers.
Well, essentially, you're using your phone to power a laptop.
And that's stupid.
And that's, I mean, given that laptop, some phones are as powerful as laptops. Like the Razer phone is actually very powerful, and it's a very well made phone. But it's just.
No, I think like I said, what the initial story that I read was pre-debut. It was rumored speculation of what it was going to be, and when I read it, it was a Razer-powered laptop that used your phone as a peripheral, essentially, touchpad and second screen. And so it was like you're gaming whatever, using the laptop CPU and everything to game, and then you have this awesome little thing down here that's also running the same game as a second screen where you can put all, for like your
which
MMORPGs.
Which would be pretty awesome because Razer makes some pretty good laptops from what I understand.
Right, and which I think it could still do that, but it's still all powered by that phone.
Right. Well, the other stupid limitation of that is you're running Android. You're not running an actual like a true full operating system. You're running Android,
and Razer is a game. I mean, Razer is a gaming company, so you would think that they would be concerned with this kind of stuff, but apparently they're.
So, like I said, this is just now that I see what this is, to me, it's an epic fail. I was kind of excited before with the speculation, but no, it's an epic fail. And it leaves the market wide open. Somebody is going to do this, the same thing, but they're going to build a laptop that accepts a phone as an input device, essentially, right? That you can have as a second screen. Because picture that, Steven. You play the MMORPGs quite a bit. If you could have your Note setting in your laptop as a second screen and also touching the things you want to touch, right? So you bring your own, all the different hotkeys that you have on your gaming keyboard now become visual representations of that on this nice big screen on your phone. You're touching as you're launching spells and everything else. It's definitely something that would sell, I guarantee, a lot better than what this is going to do. So that was one of the ones that caught my eye. The other thing was, these external GPUs are really kind of taken off everywhere. PowerColor has announced their second gaming station external GPU, which is called the gaming station. Excuse me. They already have the Devil Box out, and the differences really are minimal overall between the two. The gaming station is based on AMD X Connect, just like the Devil Box, but it doesn't limit it to AMD GPUs. PowerColor's limit of compatible cards includes products from both AMD and NVIDIA, including all RX 500 and 400 line, and most of the GTX 1000 and most GTX 900 series cards. So you can plug either one of the cards into it; it will accept it. The Devil Box's USB 3.1 type port, and then the gaming station. The clear difference is on the exterior. There's two more USB Type 3 ports, Type A, that are on the front of the gaming station. So there's another one of the difference. Plus a little bit bigger power supply, 550 watt out of the gaming station, where the Devil Box only has a 500 one.
Wait a minute. One of these things has a 550. So these are the little things that you hook to a regular laptop, and then you can make it a gaming PC, right?
Yeah.
It has a 550 watt power supply.
Power supply, right? The GPU power consumption is still capped at 375 watts because there's wattage needed to power the box on as well, because you're also powering this thing. It's actually pretty cool. So with the Thunderbolt connection, or the USB Type C in this case, you're able to charge your laptop through the external GPU as well. So it does everything.
So if you have a laptop that is one, like Apple's laptop, where it's one port does everything, then you could charge through you could put it in the GPU and charge through the GPU. That's pretty cool. That's a cool feature.
And it acts like a dock in a little bit of ways as well, because it's got an Ethernet port that it will create a wired connection. If you're like the real thin laptops out there don't have Ethernet ports, right? It will give your laptop essentially an Ethernet port using it that way. So a lot of cool features for the external GPUs.
And
Asus.
it's USB Type C or USB 3?
It uses a Thunderbolt USB.
I don't even think I have
C
that.
port.
Type C, yeah, it's the Type C port with USB 3.1. And then, like I said, Steven has talked about this already, but offline a little bit, where the limitation truly is the 4-channel, or the 4-channel PCI Express channels is all all that it can handle right now with the Thunderbolt type, the USB Type C connector.
Right, so they're limited to only 4 lanes of PCIe 3.0 right now, and that's where 4.0 is going to come out this year, which is going to double the bandwidth per lane, which will then hopefully get rid of that performance decrease by using one of those external GPUs.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome. Would you ever consider something like that instead of getting a gaming laptop?
If I got a laptop, I would definitely use this. I would definitely purchase one of these. If I bought a laptop intended for gaming, I would definitely purchase one of these. Because then I wouldn't have to focus on the GPU in the laptop as much.
You can literally buy a laptop that doesn't have dedicated GPU.
Yeah, just do like an Intel.
But
chip.
has
a
Thunderbolt.
3, and then just...
Which is still, like, I bought this laptop. Thunderbolt's been out for a long time. This laptop doesn't have Thunderbolt. But I guess I wasn't shopping for a laptop.
But a lot of it's more common now to have just a Type C USB 3.1, which apparently the PowerColor one works with. Doesn't require a Thunderbolt.
That's crazy. You can do all that through USB now.
Right?
That's insane.
All right, so that was the one that caught my eye the best. Stoles, what did you have from CES?
I don't have a lot. I have that. Just a brief story about how Samsung's not going to debut their S9. We talked earlier to the graphics intern, and he confirmed that every year everyone thinks they're going to debut it at CES, and every year they have to come out and say that it'll be debuted at the Mobile World Conference in the spring, or in February, that happens in January, right?
March.
Are you sure? I thought the S9 was supposed to come out in February.
No.
That's what this article says. So it says the Samsung will launch the Galaxy S9 in February.
And they're not going to. I bet you. Every year there are rumors that says that they will launch by January, by February. It's always March or April.
Huh. So February is when it happens, actually. So this happens in February in Barcelona. So the Mobile World Congress happens then. So we should expect to see, good things with the S9. I think the S8, a lot of people were let down by it not being as much as a jump as they thought it was going to be. So hopefully this is, different than that. We'll have that story when it comes. And then the only other thing I have is there was a couple of these at CES, but I believe they already make mouses that are wirelessly charged by the pad?
Qi power?
Yeah. They already make them, right? Because there was a couple that debuted at CES, and I thought it was really cool, but then I looked it up, and apparently Logitech already makes one. But
they have been available already, but I think you're talking about the one by Corsair.
No, the one by Corsair was the second one I saw. I'm talking about the one by Razer. Is there anything special with the one from Corsair?
Not really, but I think the one by Razer is the cool one because it doesn't have battery. Correct.
That's exactly right. So the HyperFlux is completely. It basically just works on it's a $250 bundle called the HyperFlux Firefly. By the way,
it's called the Firefly, nice.
And the mouse is called the Mamba, and basically it's priced identical to Logitech's PowerPlay mat, and the pricier mouse. So if you dig Razer style, this is the wireless combo for you. There's other peripherals out there that that are already out, but if you're a Razer person, that you finally have a Razer answer to the Logitech PowerPlay. So that's pretty cool.
Nice. So Kimo brings up something. What about that Intel? What's up with Intel? So Intel did have an announcement at CES. The big one was the NUC kit, Intel's mini VR machine. So this thing is pretty impressive. It's packed with the 8th generation Intel Core i7-8809G processor for one model, the 8705G for the second model. They basically both come with the Radeon RX Vega chips, Vega M chips, either the GH series or the GL series graphics cards. The GH series is just a little higher end, with powering anywhere from 1,000 to 1190 megahertz, where the GL is just under 1,000 to up to 1,000 megahertz. Coming with DDR4 2400 RAM up to 32 gig max. You've got 2 M2 slots for your storage. Pretty cool stuff. 2 rear Thunderbolt ports, front and rear HDMI. So it's basically a complete VR ready kit computer in a very, very small package. You're talking I don't do metric well, but 221 millimeter by 142 millimeter by 39 millimeters.
Isn't there 100 millimeters in an inch?
Something.
That's not right.
No, that's not right.
That can't be right.
So take a 0 off, and that would be centimeter, and then divide it by 2.54, and that would give you the inches.
Let me just do that in my head. Not gonna happen.
Let me just.
So
why didn't we switch to metric like my third grade teacher said we were going to?
That's what's up with Intel, Kimo. Just so you know, it's they've announced that lovely new little mini VR machine, which honestly would make a decent little portable gaming machine as well from the looks of the specs. So not just VR.
And the next generation APU by Intel that's going to have the AMD Vega.
Oh, right. The AMD Intel partnership with that. Yeah.
Which I think it's lucky on the Intel part. Intel needs AMD right now because of Intel.
Isn't that crazy?
Because of Intel's inherent flaw in their kernel design on their chips, which AMD designed it differently. So the fact that they're in partnership right now, I think AMD's going to have to rescue Intel on this one.
Nice. All right, one last thing that I've got from CES.
I'm so excited you brought this up because remember I said a couple weeks ago it was going to happen.
The gadgets that have come out of CES, one of them importantly is a French-American company at CES says its Faraday Carriage underwear will help protect male fertility from the potentially damaging effects of cell phone radiation. So throughout the years, it's been written that, potential health hazards of cell phone radiation, people worried about brain cancer, so they don't hold the phone to their head. They use earbuds. They text instead of call.
Is that why you see old people screaming into the phone from this far away?
So the company is called Spartan. And honestly, these are some good looking boxer briefs. Got to be honest. They claim to block 99% of the cell phone and Wi-Fi radiation with pure silver fibers woven into the cotton fabric.
That picture makes me feel uncomfortable.
It makes
Like
you feel something.
it's just like a model of a guy, like a typical underwear model, but then he's got his phone like really close to
his junk, so that he's not worried about it. They'll set you back about $50 though, so you got to decide how
$50 a pair.
$50 a pair for these briefs.
Oh, I blow out underwear way too fast for that. I'd be broke.
It drops if you buy several. You gotta buy several though to get that discount.
That's a lot.
So that was one of the more odd things that came out of CES. What else we got in tech news? You covered the S9.
Yes.
Can we talk about that monitor?
Oh, the big huge monitor.
God. What is it, like 60 inches?
65 inches.
65-inch monitor.
By NVIDIA, right?
Right, and which their partners, Asus, LG, Acer, HP, are going to be manufacturing. The one that they demo is made by Asus.
Why wouldn't I just use a 65-inch
So
TV?
wait, they're gonna partner with all of those different companies, so you could get technically any one of those actual a screen from any one of those manufacturers if you buy the NVIDIA product?
Right, because NVIDIA doesn't manufacture monitors.
Right, but why would you not just choose one and go with that? I mean, I don't care who you are. You can tell a difference between an LG screen and somebody else's screen when you look at it. There's a big difference.
Right, and there's a huge price difference.
Right, so
I just don't think it's practical to have a 65-inch monitor on your desk for computer desktop gaming.
no, but think of the times that you're doing a presentation or something like that. Think of the presentation values of stuff like this, because
you don't need 120 hertz.
Oh
4K
yeah,
screen
you
for
do too.
presentation.
You do. Well, trust me. When your presentation involves gaming, you need that.
Oh, he's got a point there. But, I mean, how much... That's market's got to be really slim. Like, paper slim. But, yeah, I guess if you're doing a presentation with gaming, that would make sense.
Well, and if you want to run games smoothly, though, at the 120 hertz, you're going to need two 1080 Ti's in your system.
Oh, my gosh.
Well,
That's insane.
plus look at
how much is that, like, for the lane? That's like $2,000 in video cards, isn't it?
At today's price, yeah, if you can actually get one, but that's a whole different reason.
what are they doing in the esports world now, right? I mean, they're suffering in the esports world from not having a good big screen to play on. In that, I think. So what's
the difference between a 65-inch TV and a 65-inch monitor?
Well, so this one is 4K at 120 hertz.
Okay.
It's all about the refresh rate.
Yeah, the refresh rate. All of the 4K TVs that you have right now are 60 hertz top.
Okay.
So they're basically doubling their refresh rate.
And I got to be honest, unless you're like, I don't notice it. I can't.
I don't notice the difference between 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second.
So that's actually just half the story. The other half of the story is the G-Sync. So these 65-inch monitors have G-Sync built in, which means
and I don't notice that
the
either.
refresh rate of your monitor will match the frame rate of your video card.
Do you want to check it?
Let's see. It looks good. I think we're still good. Yeah, you just pointed to it. Live viewers, give us a shout out if you're still looking okay. Our recording software is kind of wigging out, but it looks okay on our end from the Facebook side. So just double confirm for us if you could, please. But yeah, so I think, like I said, I think for me, I don't care. I think there are people that would definitely, utilize something like this. Maybe not necessarily computer-wise because of how close you are to them, but using it on an Xbox or a console, it would be huge.
Could you imagine showing up to one of the LANs with that thing? You just show up, set your 65-inch monitor right on the 8-foot table.
As far as console goes, though, so it just happens that I think both PlayStation 8 and Microsoft Xbox uses AMD GPUs.
Yes.
Which don't work with G-Sync, which is NVIDIA technology.
Thanks, Double D.
So.
Double D confirms he can still see us and we're still moving. All right, so the last thing I've got, I think the last thing, almost last thing. Last thing I have in tech news is we saw the news came out this week that Jeff Bezos' net worth tops $105 billion.
which we said, he briefly became the richest man in the world for like half a day, but we predicted that it was going to be not long before he was solidly the richest man in the world. And
Richest man in history is what they're calling him now.
what? And he's
Richest
$12
man
billion
in history.
richer than the next richest man. So
The the net worth soared to $105 billion as the company's shares rose to above $1,245 per share. Amazon now has a market value of $600 billion.
that's crazy.
And the reason why they're claiming this now and feel pretty comfortable stating it is Amazon is still in the early innings of its growth, and says that it's only got up to go from here. So
the report I read did mention that though Bill Gates, which at one point had $100 billion
at his peak, right, which
peak.
was adjusted for inflation would be $148 billion
right,
today.
would be if he didn't give away so much of his money.
Right.
Well, yeah, he'd be worth $150 billion
If he hadn't.
if he hadn't given away any money. Yeah.
But at its peak when it was $100 billion, which with adjusting for inflation was $148. So even then he was richer technically.
So I've
by
always
today's
been
standards.
mildly obsessed with these numbers, like and what it means to have $105 billion. But I read the article. I don't normally read your articles, but I read the article before, and the greatest thing about it is it was January 9th. It was published. He's put $6 billion on his net worth just since the beginning of the year. We're 10 days into this year, and he's made $6 billion in 10 days.
And
So go ahead, Steven.
another really cool thing that I thought the article brought up was he has more money than 125 of the 197 countries' GDP in the world.
Yeah, I can believe
The
that.
one person has more money than the GDP of 125. More than
How many
half of the
people you
nation.
think he has, like, security-wise? Like, I feel like it would be like a fleet of people. Wouldn't there always be? Wouldn't you think that he would always be worried about being like kidnapped or his kids being kidnapped or something?
I
like
would
that?
be.
I would frickin' be. I've always said that I would much rather be rich than famous. Like I would rather be rich and anonymous than like rich and famous.
Well, the kidnapper, if it ever happens, better hope that they don't have an Alexa at that place.
Oh, could you imagine that?
All right, so much to Chris's thing about what does that look like? $105 billion. I think to myself, if I had $105 billion, how much does that buy me? What can I buy with $105 billion?
Okay.
So I found this awesome site, howmuchdoesitbuy.com. First thing I chose was beers.
Can I guess any of these?
You can guess how much beer. Now this is going to a bar, not going to the grocery store and buying a
Okay.
12-pack. This is going to a bar and buying a beer. How many bar beers does $105 billion buy you?
I want to do all this in my head. So, $105 billion, like $6 a beer, carry the 4. Like, let's say 13 billion beers.
Okay, so in everywhere in the country but New York, this is what they says on this particular page. It'll buy you 26,250,000,000 beers.
So I was wrong. Either I drink expensive beer, or I was off by
And
about half.
that's assuming $4 a beer. But if you're in New York, this is more the $6 a beer line. You're 17,500,000,000 beers.
So I was still off by 4
yeah,
billion.
you were off pretty harsh.
Which is a rounding error for someone like Jeff Bezos.
And in case you have a lot of women that you need to buy boob jobs for, how many boob jobs does 1.5 billion buy you?
So a boob job is like
105 billion, right?
105 billion.
So a boob job is like, isn't it like 8,000 or 9,000? So 500,000. Am I way off?
Yes, 15 million boob
15
jobs.
million. Okay.
15 million boob jobs is what 105
I messed the
billion
math
will
up
buy
there
you.
for sure.
All right. What else? Well, let's choose. Let's see. Kidneys. Apparently, this is black market value on kidneys.
So a black market kidney is like 60 grand, 50, 60 grand.
How do you know this?
So 50 grand. So that's 20 kidneys for every $1 million. So that'd be 200 for a billion. So we're saying 25,000.
4.2 million kidneys.
Jesus Christ, how much is a kidney? I just guessed 50,000. How much is a kidney?
It's not saying here, but based on 4.2 million, you're looking at...
How many would you buy?
4.2 million kidneys.
Okay, they said billion because I was like, that's more kidneys that are in the world.
4.2 million kidneys.
That's crazy. Hold on, I'm going to this. Pork bellies, Thigh Masters.
Because everybody wants to buy a whole lot of Thigh Masters.
Hold on. Thigh Masters, $105 billion. Don't look at it. How many Thigh Masters do you think it'll buy?
Well, you're looking at...
And this is not including shipping and handling. This is a fun game.
1 billion.
A kidney is about $23,333.
So I've been overpaying for my kidneys for years.
What about like 5, maybe 3 billion to 5 billion Thigh Masters?
4 billion Thigh Masters. So that's not including shipping and handling, of course.
Of course,
but if you have Prime, it's free.
Hey-oh!
Jeff Bezos, I can't believe he's worth $105 billion. That's crazy.
Yeah. He's diversified.
He has. You know, I read a speculation.
He's not just a bookstore guy anymore.
I read speculation that as part of the grand plan to drones, they're going to buy Target this year.
What does Target have to do with drones?
So you now have a drone base.
Do you know somebody named Surgeon General?
He warns me about smoking.
Well, he's also loves Beyond the Routine's video.
Yeah, he must.
Interesting.
He warns me about smoking.
What up, Surgeon General?
Yeah, so there's the speculation is he's going to buy Target, and then Target will be then the base for the operations for the drone delivery.
Okay.
So, and this is what I believe. So I believe modern retail is going to change huge. I believe in 10 years from now when you walk into a Walmart, it's not going to be this huge sprawling thing. I think Walmart as it exists today, Target as we exist today, it's going to be warehouses. They're going to be all the Walmarts and the Targets are going to become warehouses. There's going to be a small presence, a small grocery store style thing in the front, but the main Walmarts are going to turn into warehouses to warehouse things.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
That's Stolz's prediction.
Yep.
You heard it here first. All right, let's move on to... Hey, we don't do this one very often. Let's move on to this one.
They've got their jock straps ready and their microphones in hand. This is The Locker Room.
I just wanted to share this feel-good story. One, because I thought that Dave might have it as quick hits. I forgot he was out of town. And two, this is just an adorable story. So this comes from the Journal Sentinel.
Is that a poop?
The Journal Sentinel?
No, that thing on the right of your screen there.
It looks like a poop.
That looks like a poop.
It says you should throw your probiotics out immediately. That does not look like a... Like, I get that it looks like poop. It looks like a cartoon artist would make poop or something. That's not... Have you ever had a poop that looks like that? That's like a perfectly shaped poop. Anyway, so in Admiral... the Journal Sentinel, basically, the story is that there was two teams, and they were battling out on the ice. And at the end of the ice, the one goaltender from the other team said, "Holy crap, my wife went into premature labor. I have got to get back home, but my home is 6 hours away." So in steps the goalie from the other team, who gives him his truck keys and says, "Take off, buddy." Just hands over his truck keys to make a 12-hour round-trip drive. So 6 hours one way, 6 hours the back before he gets his truck. Gives him to basically a complete stranger. And the guy was quoted as saying, and this is the best quote ever. He basically said, I didn't care as much. He said that he cared most about when he got the text saying, "Hey, I got there in time." So like I was like, "Oh, how sweet." So,
what he didn't mention is the guy really wasn't that generous because it was like a 1962 like Datsun.
No, it was a Ford F-150. So he basically had to give the. It's not like he gave.
Guy had to wear his full hockey gear just to be able to survive in it in the cold Canadian wherever he. Oh, is this Canada?
Milwaukee.
Same thing.
Before I forget, now that you brought up the Ford F-150, can I just mention briefly how Ford is now getting sued for their F-150 apparently doing the same thing that Volkswagen did, was
Oh.
program to cheat.
Oh, I hope that's the truth, because Volkswagens are so damn cheap because of that now. If Ford F-150s come down in price, I'm buying one.
They said they're claiming that they're actually polluting 50 times more pollutant, or emitting 50 times more pollutant than what they say they were.
It makes me wonder at that point how many are we going to find like this? It can't be if it's not just one.
No, they're all
company.
doing it.
They're all doing it.
But here's the actual quote. It was at the bottom of the article. So he offered to pay me for using the truck. I just asked him to fill it up with gas, and he was nice enough. He washed it before he gave it back. That's all I needed, honestly. I was happy to facilitate the situation, but I was more thrilled when he texted me to say he made it in time.
Oh God. Okay, so back to reality. The Surgeon General is Jesus, and he'll know who I am. He says, "Do you know?" So does that mean he'll is in you? Because I was the one saying, "Do you know him?"
He'll know who I am. I'm Jesus. What the hell? Oh, yes, I do know Jesus.
Okay, good. Glad to know. All right. Moving on to
Do you know Jesus?
I know of Jesus.
No, you don't know Jesus. Just joking.
Where's that one that I want to find? I gotta put these in.
Just like you and me, these guys want their money for nothing and their chicks for free. To be honest, if they weren't married, there'd be no chicks at all. But free money's easier than ever. Chris and Jones explain the easiest way to mine for gold. Digital gold. This is cryptocurrency on Beyond the Routine.
So I'm so proud. I have a cryptocurrency story. Even though I still don't understand exactly what it is, I have a story. So this is kind of a little bit disturbing. So there's a company called Long Island Iced Tea Company that has rebranded itself as Long Blockchain. And they're going to shift from iced tea to cryptocurrency. They're basically said that their initial plan, and when this happened, just changing their name and saying we're going to shift from this to this, their stock price went up 3 times in one day, and 3 times the price. So they basically came out and said they're gonna put $8.4 million worth of stock on the stock market, use that money to buy 1,000 Antminer S9 Bitcoin machines, and they're moving to into a cryptocurrency market. But here's the thing: is they came out right after and said, "Hey, never mind, we're scrapping this plan. We're gonna go back. We still plan on buying the Bitcoin mining hardware. However, we can make no assurances that it will be able to finance the purchase of the mining equipment." And even though that was the case, their stock is still worth twice what it was. So they just said that they're going to do this, and now their stock is still worth twice. So they made all this money.
At the current price, the A9 is still definitely profitable.
Oh, really? I don't even know much about the A9.
Yeah.
That's
the latest one, right, Steven?
It says in this article that the mining hardware cost upwards of $5,000.
For Bitcoin?
Yeah.
For an Antminer S9.
S9, yes.
S9.
Which S9 actually, if you can buy it directly from Bitmain, costs a lot less than $5,000. But
even
market price has.
Even at $5,000 with the 14, let's call it $14,000 coin price now, you're still making money.
Yes, you make about $9,000 after that.
In what time frame?
1 year.
So with one S9 miner, you're mining one Bitcoin a year? Approximately.
Maybe slightly under, but close to.
There you go.
So you have $9,000 a year per miner that you're making. So depending on how many they bought, that's not bad.
Well, maybe this will be a broader switch. We'll see other companies kind of take this thing. But I worry about companies coming out and saying, blockchain, because everyone's throwing their money at blockchain, even though they don't understand what it means. I don't understand what it means, but I still can't get past the crypto. It's like money from nothing. I just don't understand.
And your chicks for free.
And no, there's no chicks.
Oh, there's no chicks?
Have you got a free chick? Is that what this is all about?
We can't talk about it.
Oh, hi Tam.
Yeah. See.
What do you got in crypto news?
Ripple.
Let's talk about
Ripple.
Let me talk about your ripples.
So, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, a man convinced me to build an Ethereum miner.
Yes.
And so I did.
And that happened right in this room.
Right in this room. And then not far after that, a man pinged me and said, "Hey, there's an ICO going on. You gotta sign up for this account, and they'll give you 20 free Ripple," he said. And I said, "Excellent, let's do that."
Okay.
And that's all I did. Dumb me says, "I'll just get the 20 free and leave them. I don't care." I didn't say, "You know what? At 20 cents a piece, I'll go ahead and buy 100 of them." Hell, no, I didn't do that.
And now, today, they're worth $15,000, the same as Bitcoin.
God, I wish. Wouldn't that be awesome?
No?
That's not
Is that not the end of the story?
No, that's not the end.
Okay.
So Ripple has had steady growth,
Okay.
maintained growth over the last several months, and it peaked up just under $3 a coin, and then it. The reason I brought up the story is I'm really sick of the news outlets basically just doing clickbait is lack of a better term. That's
Every time Bitcoin farts, it's like, "Oh, Bitcoin's down."
Yeah.
They never report that the next day it's like Bitcoin's back up. That never happens.
Never happens, but they do the clickbait. So it's like Ripple crashes. And I'm thinking, really? That's kind of weird. That sucks. I mean, not
Bomb
that I had
cyclone.
any money invested, but I go and I check and I'm like, oh, it dropped 30 cents in a day. Which when your total value is just under $3, 30 cents is a lot more significant percentage.
That's only 10% though.
Yeah, it's not that big a deal. So honestly, Steven, you and I have talked about this with Ripple. You're saying Ripple is an excellent investment for the person that doesn't have a lot of money that wants to get started in the cryptocurrency.
Right. So imagine if we're back in 2012, let's say 2012.
Oh, I'd buy so many
when
Bitcoins.
Bitcoin was trading about $3.
Right.
And people were joking what is that? What's Bitcoin? But people who bought them at the $1 to $3
Did not hold on to them.
Those who did, though, or those who did not, really regret it.
I would like to find one person that can prove to me that they bought into Bitcoin in 2012 and didn't sell when it hit 200, sell when it hit 500, sell when it hit 1,000. None of those people exist. Unless they're already rich, and then what does it matter?
Right. But, so we're not saying that Ripple is going to be...
That's what I'm saying. It's the next Bitcoin. Buy it now, guys.
But Ripple, market capitalization goes, Ripple is already world's second largest.
That's right. If Ripple was worth $15,000 a coin, there'd be a problem. Isn't that all the money in the world?
That would be a real issue, yes.
Yeah.
Because there are billions upon billions of Ripples available.
Which there's not as many Bitcoin available.
No, there will total only be 21 million Bitcoin.
Ever. Who decides that? The person that puts
system,
the ICO?
The programming, how it was created. So Ripple was created on day one with billions. I forgot how many billions, but billions of Ripples on day one.
Okay.
And that's all the Ripples you will ever have. And it only goes down. And that's one of the reasons why Ripple experienced that steady growth, because there's a decreasing amount of Ripples. And so usually when you have decreasing something, then the value of it naturally goes up. But the other thing is Japan is one of the largest nations in Ripple trading and supporting Ripple. And 3 of their largest banks last year just signed up to use Ripple as their new blockchain technology for trading across the borders. And then American Express also sign on to use Ripple as their next evolution of technology. So Ripple has a bright future. And I think the fact that it's going down right now, it's actually a good time for people to invest, because you don't have to throw in a lot of money in it. It's cheap enough that if you have several $100s that you won't miss, that you're probably going to spend it on other ways.
You almost had me convinced to buy Ripple, and then I found out it crashed, according to C. No,
no, it didn't crash. Well, we're at a junction right now where Ripple may skyrocket again, or boost to the next level, or it might do a self-correction, because it did increase way too fast in a very short amount of time. In like a matter of 2 weeks, I think it jumped from like 23 cents to almost $3.
There's got to be people out there that made a lot of money.
Yeah, of course.
Because if you bought a lot of Ripple at 23 cents and then sold it at $3, that's what, 1,000. I can't do math today. That's like 1,000. That's like 1,000% profit,
It was
right?
more than 1,000%.
Yeah, slightly more than 1,000.
Yeah.
I'm close.
All right, so that'll close us out of the crypto news.
Do you have any other crypto news?
You don't want to talk about Ethereum?
No,
All right.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready to talk about Ethereum yet.
Okay. Next week.
Next week we'll go on Ethereum. All right, let's move into our last segment for the evening.
Here's some thoughts we pulled right out of our hats. And by hats, you know what I mean. It's the Beyond the Routine grab bag. Random thoughts from Chris and Jones.
You want me to go first, Jones?
You go ahead.
Let's make fun of Oregon.
Yay!
And
Is
all those that are
KDR still
watching-
tuned in?
All those that are watching from Oregon, I'm talking about you.
And that cousin.
We're making fun of that cousin too. Have you seen, I can show you a video of that cousin trying to pump gas. It is hilarious. I tried to teach her when we went to
She's
Idaho.
born and raised in Oregon.
Born and raised.
Never pumped.
Bred and
pumped her own gas.
I had to beg her to let me Facebook Live her trying to pump gas because she's like I don't want to.
How much gas spilled?
No, she couldn't figure it out. Like the sequence of events was too much. But so that's actually what we're talking about. So there's a law that went into effect on January 1st in Oregon, where basically the counties that have. Well, first let's back up a little bit. I don't know if you know this, folks, but in Oregon you don't pump your own gas. So it's one of 2 states that have only full service gas stations. So that's Oregon and New Jersey. And Oregon came out and they made a new law that basically said any county that's under 400,000 people, you can pump your own gas during 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Okay.
So this is what everyone is freaking out about, by the way. So it's only 12 hours and only in counties that have
overnight?
Overnight, that have less than 400,000 people. So needless to say, people are flipping out. So let me read some of the concerns here. I don't even know how to pump gas. I'm 62, native Oregonian, and I say no thanks. I don't want to smell like gasoline. But it's fine for the other guy. First of all, have you ever... Well, this is a broad question. How often do you smell like gasoline when you pump your own gas?
Once out of 100, probably.
And the 100 is only because it pees a little when you pull it out.
When you
right?
pull
It pees a little when you pull it out. Hold on.
Write that down.
Let me write that down. So it pees a little when you pull it out and you get the gas on you. But other than that, you never smell like gas.
Correct. Or I have had the occasion, I don't know if anybody else has, maybe this is just me, where you have the rogue gas pump handle that doesn't stop. Right? It's supposed to sense the kick back and stop. Correct. And there's those that don't sense it right away, and all of a sudden some spews out of your actual car outward a little bit before it stops.
And I had a hole in my gas. Like I had this 1987. I wish I still had it when I knew you, because you would have just laughed so hard at this car. A 1987 Honda Prelude, and the little thing that went down, like the tube that went down, had rusted out. And I tried JB Weld, like I tried so many things and none of it would ever hold. I finally had to replace the thing, but it caused like the nozzle would go past the hole, so it was safe. But it caused a vacuum where, like, every time I pumped my gas, it would just be like at the end and just like spew out. So it wasn't a safe, there's a safety concern there.
There was a safety concern.
But here's the thing: most people go other places, right? Like, do you know many people that have only been in one state? Like, haven't you gone anywhere else where you had to rent a car and you had to pump your own gas? So here's another one. I lived in the state all my life and I refused to pump my own gas. This is a service only qualified people should perform. I will literally park at the pump and wait until someone pumps my gas.
Wow.
I go to work at 5 in the morning. Not a lot of people at the gas pumps at that time in the morning. And yes, I do not feel safe pumping my own gas. Not to mention it's freezing and raining. So thank you to all those who voted to change it. You now have taken away a nice luxury that most of us enjoyed.
And this is what's wrong with Oregon, folks.
Okay, first of all, I will not agree with that. They're only half the table. Oregon is a fine state. It's my favorite state in the whole nation.
Really?
But I love Oregon. Oregon is beautiful, dude. Like, the eastern part of the state kind of sucks, but the western part of the state rocks.
Oregon Highway Patrol sucks.
Oregon Highway Patrol does kind of suck. Although they pulled my wife over not once, but twice in one day, and she got out of tickets. So
It was the cleavage.
it was. Does it work when I'm in the car? I'm just like, the greatest thing about that is I just like woke up both times. I'm like, oh my God, again. My beautiful wife. But what do you have in the grab bag, Jonesy?
Grab bag, seems a little bit of overkill for wine, is all I'm going to say on this. A Russian man rams an armored personnel carrier into a shop and steals wine.
You have obviously never been addicted to anything.
Dateline, Moscow. A man rammed an armored personnel carrier into a shop window before climbing through the rubble to steal a bottle of wine in a town in northern Russia on Wednesday morning.
So just when you say armored personnel carrier, you mean a freaking tank.
Basically,
I'm
yes.
looking at the picture.
Yes.
This guy rammed a tank into a shop to get wine.
Well, here's the other funny part, is the man stole, obviously, the vehicle from a privately run motorsport training ground facility nearby and drove it through a forest.
So we can go to Russia and fucking drive tanks?
Apparently, yes. And then it drove it through the forest into Apatiti, I don't know, a small town just, mind you, south of the Arctic Circle.
Oh my
God. This is very far north.
I'm not going that far north to drive a tank.
Struggling to turn around in the narrow street, the man who witnesses describe as being drunk, well, no shit, proceeded to slam the tank into the window of the family convenience store, the news agency said. Getting out and reviewing the damage, he then decided to climb through the window and grab a bottle of wine, which was illegal for the store to sell at that time, mind you.
He got him busted, too.
So,
smooth move.
Yeah.
Vladimir.
Also, a Daewoo car may have been a victim of his rampage as well.
They still make Daewoos?
In Russia.
So have you ever stumbled upon the drive through the store window? Have you done that in your travels? Have you stumbled upon that?
Seen people do it? Or what are you talking
Not
about?
necessarily seen people do it, but like gone into a store like either right after it happens or like a day after it happens.
When it's all boarded
or
up.
boarded
Yeah,
up.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So there's a 7-Eleven on 56th that's right by my house on 56 West. And it is, 56 is a fairly large road. It's a pretty large road. And this 7-Eleven has got drove into not once, not twice, but 3 times in the 7 years that I've lived there. 3 separate times people have driven into this 7-Eleven. And the one time someone got crushed at the Red Box. Both their legs were broken at the Red Box.
Oh,
I'm
jeez.
sorry to laugh at that. They were fine. They lived, obviously. But, like, both their legs were broken at the Red Box. Those, you want to talk about a tank. Those Red Box machines, I half wanted to see if it still worked. Those things are built like an ATM machine, man.
Nice.
And I go into the 7-Eleven, like, not right after it happens, but they were putting up the boards. Like, they were still open for business. And I walk in, and this guy's just like, I'm like half the merchandise of the 7-Eleven is gone because it got drove into. So I'm like, oh, I guess you don't have, like, everything I need. And he's like, dude, I have to show you something. Because I go into the 7-Eleven line, he's like, I have to show you something. Look at this. And he, like, moves this box, and he points, and there's just, like, rubber. Just, apparently the guy had drove in and didn't stop. Was just seriously, like, just
Spinning the tires?
it was great.
Nice. So here's my thing with that is, once your store has been driven into once, that's bad luck. It's driven into twice, I'm going ahead and putting some kind of cement barriers maybe in front
They
of my
haven't
store.
done that. In fact, they took, the first time it got drove into was just a simple, like, reverse. And they had gas pumps. So then they took the gas pumps out. And that's the second time when the guy broke his leg. Because the guy was going like 50 miles an hour, dude. 'Cause it's a straight shot. I might drive into the damn thing on the way home just because it's a straight shot. Like, you just have to hop one curb and then boom, 7-Eleven.
There's a second possible title. Hop one curb and then boom, 7-Eleven.
I think it pees a little when I take it out. Is a pretty good one.
Awesome. All right, well, that's going to conclude Season 4, Episode 1, folks. Thank you all on Facebook Live for tuning in. Has a comment. I'm sure Oregon is a nice place, but New Jersey is a big hell no. New Jersey smells like New York's leftovers.
It does. It's. I've heard it. New York's armpit.
Yeah, so there you have it, folks. Thanks so much again for tuning in. Tune in next week. Still will be Sans Dave, unfortunately. But we'll have some more Episode 2 goodness for you.
And we're talking Wednesdays now at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
9 a.m. is
Wednesdays.
not happening.
Going forward, Season 4 will be Wednesday nights. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for listening to Beyond the Routine, brought to you by our friends at Bastion Technologies and Protocol 42.
Thanks, guys.
We're looking for an electrician who's willing to work for food or friendship
Or beer.
Just to advise us on a couple new breakers that we want to put in
Here at the Bastion Technology. So if we have any electrician friends out there, PM me directly and I'll put you in touch with Steven.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, recording's over. We're still on Facebook. We're still on Facebook. Yes, we.
What up?
Oh, look, someone is hearting us. Look at all those hearts. That's a lot of hearts. They're just hearting us over and over again. Look. Aw, we love you too. I bet that's that cousin. All right, bye, guys.
See ya.